YouTube, what's going on? It's Rob with Sprayer Splash Fragrance Reviews, and today we're going to be touching on the house of Issey Miyake. If you're interested in checking that out, please stay tuned. All right, before we get into too much detail, I want to first and foremost say rest in peace to the late Issey Miyake, who just recently passed August the 5th. He was 84 years of age, and he passed away from liver cancer. He was a Japanese designer that was primarily known for pleats, the black mock neck turtleneck sweater worn by Steve Jobs, the Bow Bow bag, and L'Eau d'Issey. A lot of people will say that he was about accessibility, functionality, and people feeling joy from his work. So I didn't really know a whole lot about Issey Miyake before I started to put the video together. I did know L'Eau d'Issey, and of course I know fragrance. Currently, I believe the house has kind of gone in a different direction in regard to what they really do well as far as men's fragrance. I personally enjoy the darker fragrances that they have been putting out, and it is currently one of my favorite designer houses out there. So I've got 8 fragrances I want to touch on. I'll try to get through them as briefly as possible, and let's do it. First up, 2014 release, Nuit d'Issey, the EDT. The nose is Dominique Ropion. You've got grapefruit, bergamot, leather, woods, spices, black pepper, vetiver, incense, ebony tree, tonka, patchouli. On my skin, when you first spray it, the grapefruit really pops. Then it kind of transitions into this kind of a dark, spicy, woody, feel. And then it eventually goes into like a dry patchouli that never really gets earthy or like chocolatey. It's a really nice fragrance. It's got some really good performance. I think it's one of the better performing ones of the Nuit d'Issey line, and it's the first one. 2015 release, Nuit d'Issey Parfum, bergamot, grapefruit, leather, spices, black pepper, vetiver, dark woods, patchouli, tonka. So this one you get the citruses up top with some spices, and then you kind of get like a little powderiness in the mid, and then it eventually dries down to pretty much a nice woody base with some sweetness. It is a little deeper, darker, and richer than the EDT, but the EDT performs better. So I guess you could probably say they took some of the rough edges and kind of took those off and kind of smoothed it out and made it a little bit sexier than the EDT. I really like this one, but they're both good. Okay, again, the Parfum Nuit d'Issey. 2016 release, L'Eau d'Issey Noir Ombre. The nose is Christophe Renaud, and I really, really like this one. Saffron, cinnamon, nutmeg, coriander, leather, cedar, papyrus, vetiver, amber, vanilla, tonka bean. To me, this one is slightly aromatic with a little bit of leather in the beginning and kind of woody. All right. Then it kind of transitions into like this vetiver coming out, but that's not how it ends up. It kind of ends up to me on my skin where this warm amber accord comes out. All right, and it's got this really nice, warm, slightly spicy, leather, kind of oily vibe when it's all said and done. and with the amber, and it's just nice. And this one is one that sells out like all the time. Like literally, when it comes in the stock, you gotta grab it or it's gonna be gone. It's good, and I really enjoy this one. If you've never got your nose on it, please try to get your nose on this one. This is one that I think you need to have in your collection. Noir Ombre L'Eau d'Issey. 2017 release, L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme or Encens. Same nose, Christophe Reynard. Really great release. The notes on this one are rose, labdanum, incense, pink pepper, cumin, leather, amberwood, sandalwood, cedar, vetiver. So what you get in the opening is this dark smoky rose that's got a little bit of shimmer. And what I think that is, I think that's the pink pepper playing off the rose, almost like the stars in the sky at nighttime. It's really beautiful. And then in the mid, you get like a little bit of a green nuance with leather. And it finally ends up being a little bit of incense, a little leather, the dark rose, and some cedar to round it out. Beautiful fragrance. I highly recommend this one. L'Eau d'Issey or Encens Pour Homme. 2021 release, Bois Arctique Nuit d'Issey. The noses are Dominique Ropion and Fanny Ball. Notes are grapefruit, pink pepper, mandarin orange, basil, black pepper, geranium, vanilla, tobacco, tonka bean. This one quite simply starts off kind of minty, kind of fruity, fresh. Then it kind of transitions into something that is slightly green with a little bit of a tobacco hit. Eventually transitions into something that stays fresh, but becomes a little bit more vanillic in the end. Pretty simple fragrance on the fresher side. One that I think a lot of people will enjoy. It's not my favorite out of the bunch, but it's definitely a solid release. Bois Arctique. 2018 release, Nuit d'Issey Noir Argent. The nose is Dominique Ropion. Grapefruit, nutmeg, black pepper, pink pepper, leather, olibanum, saffron, myrrh, patchouli, labdanum, vetiver. This one is my favorite out of all of the releases, okay? The grapefruit in the opening is a little fizzy. Then you kind of get this saffron and nutmeg, so it kind of gives it like this kind of slightly green, spicy, with a hint of sweetness feel. Fragrance has a balsamic feel overall. Eventually you get that myrrh that comes out, and myrrh kind of has this smoky, almost slightly minty feel at the same time. You get a little bit of leather, all right, also in the base. Really incredible fragrance. You gotta check this one out. This one is a stunner in my humble opinion. It is a classic, like new school fragrance that has some like traditional touches to it. I don't know if everyone's gonna enjoy this one, but I really like this one. Okay, so again, Noir Argent, Nuit d'Issey. 2020 release, Nuit d'Issey Polaris. This is a dark fragrance, okay? Dark fragrance. Cypress, black pepper, bergamot, agarwood, patchouli, cedar, vanilla, leather, balsam, amber, labdanum. This starts off kind of like dark and woody with a little bit of smoke. You eventually get a little vanilla in the mid with some leather, and it eventually dries down to a smoky, leathery, woody fragrance. Not one for everyone, but one that is very well done. And if those notes represent your style of fragrance, this is one you definitely need to check out. Again, this is Polaris Nuit d'Issey. 2019 release, Nuit d'Issey Pulse of the Night. This is the most popular out of all of the fragrance I've spoken on. When this one dropped in FragCon, people were all over it, sold out. came back in stock, sold out. People were clamoring trying to get a bottle of this. This one is incense, amber, tonka, patchouli, vanilla, leather, woods, sandalwood, vetiver. Um, it's a simple fragrance. It is a smoky vanilla that's got some creamy woods and leather. It's simple. It's a really simple fragrance. It wears well. It smells good. It will garner compliments. It's not my favorite of the bunch, but it is the most popular, and I see why. It's very accessible, easy to wear, dumb reach almost, if you will. So, guys, those are all the fragrances. I thank you so much for checking out the video. I do appreciate it. Until next time, I will talk to you soon. Be safe. Peace.